Well, Ovince, obviously last time out was a real big opportunity for you. I know it didn't go your way, but have you kind of processed all that and what happened and what lessons do you take out of that?
Pretty much processed that night. I don't hold any grudges. I tell a lot of people I love what I love what I do, and at the same time, at the end of the night, after I fought Glover, I didn't get my hand raised, so I'm not gonna dwell on something. The fight is over with. It's time to move on. So everything went well. I was pretty much cool, calm, collective that night, but with every single one of my losses, I learned a lot, and every single one of my losses, I tend to come back. I tend to come back really big.
And I don't want to focus on the negative, but it does seem like you reach this level, and then you get to that moment, that big opportunity, and you come up just short. Is there anything that you can point to say, I wasn't ready, or I wasn't prepared, or anything that you can get over that hurdle?
No, not necessarily. I mean, at the same time, as my job as a competitor, as an athlete, as a professional, is to get myself ready. Whether if I'm not ready, that's my fault. So at the end of the day, it's just like I couldn't tell myself I wasn't ready. I mean, the fight is there, so I got to go ahead and fight. So at the end of the day, I just take it as a learning experience.
Another big, dangerous opponent with Fei Zhao. Talk about the matchup. What do you think about him and how you guys match up with each other?
I think we definitely match up good with both prior strikers and stuff. He's a BJJ black belt. And I think my mixed martial arts game has kind of evolved. Has kind of been evolving all around and stuff. So that's been helping out tremendously. I mean, if you talk about experience and stuff, he has more experience than I do because he's been in the game longer than I have. But fundamentally, I think I'm fundamentally sound. I'm still learning a lot, and I'm still growing. This past 6 months off was probably the best thing for me, just because I got to, kind of revamp myself. So every time I take time off from a loss, I usually come back doing better.
So what are the evolutions that you think we're going to see? Is there something you can point to that we're going to be able to identify, like that's what he showed up in the 6 months?
You're just going to have to watch the fight. You're just going to have to watch the fight. My coach Eric Turner, he's a good guy he's a really good guy as an implementing game plans and stuff, and didn't change my style too much, but he said he didn't change my style too much. I felt like it changed a lot, but at the same time, instead of me trying to chase people down, it's going to be a style that people running into my punches.
I feel like you've had that prospect tag for a long time. People say this guy's the next big thing. Do you feel like now it's time to put that behind you? I'm not an up-and-comer anymore. I'm an actual legitimate contender that needs to be dealt with?
Definitely. That's definitely my interest right now. I'm like, the up-and-coming part just passed or whatnot. I'm one of the contenders now that could be a highly threat. And, as long as I go out there and do my job, I can prove to people. So, I still have a lot of doubters down there. I still have people who's behind me. So, and it's kind of hard to, theoretically, when you're getting ready for a fight, you have to game plan. And sometimes you have a game plan that you got to oblige by. The first round, it might not work. Second round, it might not work. It might not work into the third round. But at the same time, you still have to implement that game plan, which can kind of take you away from your natural style. But at the same time, you want to make sure you implement that game plan against different fighters. So this fight right here, I'm going to implement my game plan, and I'm going to make it my fight. As long as I don't make it his fight, I'm going to make it my fight.